And we're live. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this morning Entrepreneurs Morning Vitamins. Today's topic gonna be the soap opera sequence by Miss Ann Williamson. Before we introduce our guest or speaker this morning, let me just go through and welcome our panel members. First on my left, I have Miss Jackie M. Powers. Jackie is a Minister of Prisons. She's an author, a deal site expert. She's a wife and a mother of 3 beautiful kids. Jackie has been in the industry for the past 15 years, and she's also a certified nurse for the past 12. Myself, Earl Cox, I've been in the industry for the past 12 years, guys. I'm 2 years full-time from home. You know, I'm a father and a husband of a beautiful wife. I've been in the industry for the past 12 years, like I said. I'm an ex-military vet. I've been in the Navy for the past, I did Navy for 15 years, guys. You know, right now I'm actually doing 2 years, like I said, full-time from home. I love what I do, and I actually have the passion to help others, you know, working towards financial freedom and working towards actually building your dreams. That's me in a nutshell. Next, we have Miss Ann Williamson, our special speaker for this morning. Ann is from North Carolina. She's a wife, a mother, and a mother of a beautiful daughter. She has been in the industry for the past 9 years and is a certified paralegal, and she's also a co-owner with her husband in a traditional business. So this morning, before we get started, guys, ladies, could you give say good morning to our attendees?
Hey, Cox, Mr. Cox. Good morning. Good morning. Hi, Ann. Good morning and welcome. Oh my God, I don't know what's tickling me here.
I don't know.
Good morning, fellow entrepreneurs. It's always a pleasure to have you guys. Honestly, we love what we do. Can't you tell? Welcome to the EMV videocast.
You gotta love it. I love what we do in the morning times.
Exactly. Good morning, guys. Welcome. Thank you for joining us this morning. We do, Jackie. We love what we do. You're so right.
That's it. And before you start, let me just say, I didn't say welcome to our attendees. Really appreciate you guys taking the time to be here with us today, this morning. Happy y'all be here. Remember, share this webinar with everyone. Invite all your friends, your guests, guys, because while we're here to motivate everyone, keep everyone going in the right direction, so no one quits. Everyone keep working towards their dreams. Remember, there's no option and there's no such thing as giving up. You know, we're always working towards building our dreams because that's why we're here, and we always have to remember that. So I just wanted to point it out. Okay, guys, and the panelists are yours, so I'm going to take it away.
Oh, wow. Thank you. And again, good morning, guys. Thank you, attendees, and thank you to my fellow entrepreneurs on the panel, to Miss Jackie and Mr. Earl. Thank you for having me and letting me be a part of this each day. To give you some background on what I'm going to talk about, I've been reading a book by a well-known network marketer, internet marketer, and it's a brand new book, and I've been going through it. It's about building your business online, how to grow your company online. And like Earl said, I also am part of a traditional brick and mortar home-based business, and I've been trying to learn how to grow that presence online. So I got this book, and I found some of these things very, very interesting. And one of the chapters in the book, it was called Secret Number 7, and it's called the soap opera sequence. And so I thought I would give you guys some tips on that. It's really about your email campaigns and how to engage someone like a soap opera. So here we go, guys. I'm going to give you kind of the steps for each email, how to create, say, a 5 emails in a campaign. Some people will do more than that. Some people won't. And I hope you guys, Earl talked the other day about how to market your business on a shoestring budget. And he talked about email campaigns. And that is a great way to market for little or nothing, for little or no cost. So if you're not utilizing that, you do want to utilize that method. So here we go. You know, when somebody joins your list for the first time, it's essential that you build a bond between them and what this training has called the attractive character. Well, who do you think that attractive character is? That attractive character is you. And the way you introduce yourself can mean the difference between a subscriber opening your emails or hitting the delete key, so to speak. And if you have email campaigns running now that you do, you know, there is a way that you can track and open those to see how many people do actually open your email. So if you don't have anybody, if you're sending out emails to people through broadcast messages or whatever tool you utilize, if they're not opening them, something's wrong. Something's wrong with that campaign, so you might want to change it up a little bit. So I'm going to talk a little bit about a concept I'm learning called the soap opera sequence. So I'm sure many of you have probably seen a soap opera before. The stories rely on open-ended, high drama. They hook you in so that you come back every single day to find out what's going to happen the next day. And days on soap operas, one day drags out the whole week. You know how that goes. So they're continuous and they never conclude. The characters are either getting into trouble or getting out of trouble, fall in love, break up, head to jail, escape, or even yet they die and then come back or magically reappear. There's one that I must confess, there's one that I watch now, and that has exactly what has happened. The character died a year ago. Well, now he's come back, but he's 6 feet taller than he was before, and I'm like, it's a little bit strange, but I mean they do, and I'm still watching it every day because he's come back for a reason to see what happens. So if you relate to the characters, you can't help but get what I would call sucked into the drama, and you want to know what's going on next. So in your soap opera sequence, in your email campaign, the first thing you're going to do is introduce your character, which is you, and you want to introduce that and build it up yourself up in an open-ended dramatic story that will draw your reader in. Okay? I'm going to use 5 different email examples to show this. Like I said, some people will do it in a series of 10 emails. But depending on your time and how effective you are with your emails, you can do this in as little as 3 or 5. You want to have open and closed loops that will drag your reader from one email to the next. You want to feed them on to the next scene. So let me give you an example. You may say you're into health and wellness or weight loss. This is always a good example for me to use. You may tell your readers in the first email that you discovered the secret to getting rid of nerve pain or getting rid of excess weight without expensive medications, without expensive products or side effects. But instead of giving them all the details in that first email, open the loop and just tell them that you'll give them what's called the secret tomorrow. You can choose your own wording. But then it keeps them wondering, what's that secret? What have they got for me? I've had this nerve pain, in my back forever. They have something that can help me. In the second email, you're going to give them the secrets. And then you're going to open another loop that's going to pull them into that third email. If you watch soap operas or reality shows, you see directors do it all the time. They pull you from commercial break to commercial break, from episode to episode. I mean, that's how they do it on TV. And you can master that too. So let me walk you through these 5 emails in this sequence. They're very simple, and they work to build that relationship with your character, which is you. And when I say character, I mean you're not putting yourself out there as somebody that you're not. It's you. You definitely, but you want to make yourself attractive, so to speak. So in the first email, you want to set the stage. When somebody opts into your list, you want to set that stage. This should be a thank you note that people receive the minute they sign up for your list. Very short, 2, 3 sentences maybe, very short. You want to set the stage for emails to come and let the people know what to expect. You don't want to put it all out there in those first emails. Because then what are you going to do? I mean, you want to keep them coming back. So you want to email them, once a day, twice a day, once a week. You got to decide how many times. But in the beginning, they need to get an email. I say every couple of days. I get some emails every day from lists that I'm in. Some of them I've opted out of that because these emails are not, they don't grab me. They have not grabbed me. So here's an example, okay? This is an example that's in this training that I'm doing, and it says the subject line. chapter 1 of 5. That's what it's got in the subject line. And it said, "Hey, this is Andy, and I want to officially welcome you to my world." And he goes on through, about 10 years ago, I started my first business while I was in college. And this hobby actually became my obsession. I started selling all sorts of things online, and I've become a real student of marketing. My other businesses are where I've tested and tried out stuff. My goal is to always give away better stuff for free than what other people are charging for. And in fact, tomorrow I'm going to do just that. I'm going to give you one of my best products for free. That could be something that, you know, a product that you have or that you've downloaded or that you've got rights to be able to use. There's a lot of things out there that we can use and give away for free that we have gotten for free. And I would utilize that because you want to show them, you know, that you're going to be able to help them. So that would be kind of the gist of the first email. And then, you know, you might want to end it by, "I'm going to wow you with so much value," because remember, you want to bring value to people. That's what they're looking for. You want to bring value. Then you can say, "Sound good? Look for that email tomorrow. Thanks," and sign off. Okay? Just a quick thank you email, kind of giving them a little bit of background, but not too much information about yourself and what you're going to be showing them over these series of emails. You don't have to call them emails to them. Like in the subject line, you just said chapter 1 of 5. Okay? Then maybe you wait a day or 2 days, and then you send that second email. And this email, you want to open with high drama. You know, if you did a good job in your first email and opened a loop for email number 2, then the reader's going to be waiting that email. Remember, they want to see what you're going to give them that's going to help them. They want to see what kind of value you're going to be bringing. So they're going to be anxiously awaiting that next email. You know, this is where the actually storytelling process begins. A lot of people, let me say this, you know, you want to kind of create this high drama. So always start any good story at the point of high drama. I hope I'm making sense to you guys with this. I'm trying to do it in the way to describe the soap opera. Saying, if you think about a soap opera and relate it to this. You know, most people will start their stories at the beginning. But usually when you think about it, your story doesn't get good into the middle till something happens to that character. Till either they, you know, maybe they fell a little bit, or maybe they had some struggles in their businesses, whatever. And then they've come out on the other side of it. That's, you know, the story gets good there. So it's better to start at the good part. Then you can go back and fill in the backstory, so to speak, after your readers are hooked. So here's an example of that. You know, let me back up. When I talked about the backstory, once you have their attention with the drama, then go back and tell them your story. Tell them the events that led up to that high drama moment. How did you get yourself in that predicament? What happened? And typically your backstory is going to take you back to a spot where that particular reader may be now. You never know what somebody's experiencing out there. You never know, did they just file bankruptcy? Are they having to work 3 jobs? You don't know that yet. You don't know that. And eventually, if you talk to them, and not just through emails, and you get on Skype, or you get onto where you can talk to them, or better yet, sit in front of them if you're where they are, then you'll find out a little bit more about them. So, say for example, you're going to help somebody, there we go, lose weight. Take them back to that time when you were overweight. If that wasn't the case, maybe you weren't overweight, but maybe you weren't healthy. Take them back and tell them your story. If you're teaching them about finances, take them back to a time before you were successful. In my previous life, as I like to call it, it took me 6 years to hit 6 figures, and I struggled those first 2 years in that, and about gave up. So I can use my story there to tell them, yeah, I've made 6 figures before, but this is what it took. This is what happened to me. It took me twice going through what I had to go through to get to that point. So that's kind of my backstory, without going into major detail here, because that's not what we're here for. But here's an example of that second email. Okay, your subject line can say something like, the day my education failed me, the day my business fell apart. And you can go into that, you know, what happened? How did I get here in the body? Question, first question, how did I get here? And this author goes through this whole email about how he was in school, and his subject line was the day my education failed me. And he talks about how he was blindly following the status quo for 15 years, you know, thought that he would get out there and work a regular 9-to-5 job. That's what he'd been told for years, get an education, get a good job. And he thought to himself, tonight is going to be a great night, we're going to celebrate, but what happens next? I got to go into the real world. And he goes on to say, as he found out, the real world, getting out there and actually working that job and working in the real world was not very nice or forgiving. You know, he had very little money to cover the monthly payments for student loans, all his other expenses that he had, and he wasn't making very much money. He did not get a job in his degree. And he goes through all of that in this email, which is what led him to pursue other avenues, which is what led him to build phenomenal businesses online. So he goes through all that, you know, and tells them at the end, you know, he said, would you like to know, he says, this was a business that made me $250,000 and would go on to make me over $1 million. And I haven't given you the whole email beforehand, but that's the way he ends it. And he says, would you like to know how I did this and what I found out? Are you interested in wanting to be able to get your ideas up and running with no money? If so, then watch for my email tomorrow. So if you've got somebody sitting there that can relate to that, and you, like I said, you don't know the people in your list, not personally anyway, they're going to be anxious to hear what you have to say. Then the third email, the next day, 2 days, however long you want to space it. I wouldn't go too long because you do want to stay in contact with them. They'll forget about you, especially if they're getting emails from 20 other lists that they may have opted into. You don't know that either. The third email is what they call the epiphany email. This is where you start bringing in the dawn. You have an epiphany. You realize something that you hadn't thought of before. Maybe it's something that was right in front of you the whole time. I hope most of you have had an epiphany before. I have in another moment, not in business. And so it's things that turn everything around for you. You know, and when you get to this stage, your readers should be so hooked that they want to know your solution. And you can start off by saying, you know, your epiphany could lead them to your core offer. It could lead them to whatever you're offering. Or if you're selling products, maybe whatever you're selling. You could say something to the effect. It could be something like this. My epiphany was I needed to build a list. That's when I learned how to blank. That's when I learned how to market with Facebook strategies. That's when I learned how to use autoresponders or whatever you use to help you. It could be something like this. My epiphany could be I had to get a support system to help me get over my addiction. You know, that we're talking something totally different here, but you know, people who have addiction problems, when they have that epiphany and realize they need help, that's when they're going to get better. That's when they do get the treatment. You know, people who have weight problems, their epiphany could be, I had to address the emotional roots of overeating. That's when I discovered by doing this and this every day, by, you know, eating 5 small meals a day, healthy meals, I was able to lose weight. So your epiphany, you want to always tie it into the solution. The solution you're selling. If you're selling someone else's product, it's enough to say your epiphany led to the discovery of that product. Like weight loss, we all know there's tons of weight loss products out here. Did you develop those products yourself? Probably not. So you want your epiphany to I was led to the discovery of this nutritional pill, this nutritional shake. And then you tell them about that, and you want to describe that in that third email. You want to tell them your epiphany. Keeping up with time here, okay? And you want to give them something to check out. You know, before in the other two emails, I've not said anything about giving them a video or a link or anything like that. You want to keep these readers hooked. And this guy that I've been doing this training with, I mean, he's a multi-millionaire, has built many online businesses. So I'm thinking, okay, he knows what he's talking about here. And in the other two emails, he's never said anything about a link or a video or anything. It's in the third one is where you do that. And you may say something, you know, would you like to know more? Would you like to know how I did blank? If you would, I just posted a video that will show you how I took $20 and turned it into $1 million a year how-to business. Whatever it is you want to say. So that gives them something to look at. You're building them up. You see how you're doing this? You're building them up. So that by the time this is all over, they're either really going to love you, which is what you want, and they're going to trust you and know that you can help them, or the other. But I don't think the other. You're going to have a few of those, but hopefully by the end of this, they're going to be right there with you. In your fourth email, remember I'm just going through 5, a series of 5 of them. In your fourth email, this is the one where you want to point out the benefits the reader has by getting to know you and following your plan or using your product. The hidden benefits. You want to focus on the benefits that aren't as obvious. This gives you another reason to email them. It gives your prospect another chance to build a stronger bond with you, that character, in these emails. Your emails should point out the hidden benefits that they may not have they not thought about this before. For example, sure, you're going to make more money, but you also get more freedom to travel. Sure, you're going to lose weight, but in addition, you're also going to live long enough to enjoy your grandchildren and be able to play with them. Something to that effect. You know, sure, you're going to be able to work from home. Didn't you realize, too, that you're also going to be able to take vacations whenever you want? You're going to be able to design your own schedule. Show them the benefits that are going to grab the reader and move them to take action, which is what we ultimately want. You want them to take action. At this point, you also want to come up with stories. Remember, we've talked a lot about stories and how people love stories. I love stories. Stories will sell. They sell me every time. I love, love, love stories. You want to come up with stories or learn stories that demonstrate these benefits. You know, for weight loss, say, you know, you could talk about, I know this guy who was 300 pounds, and within a year, he was down to 160 pounds. He dropped half his weight. He did it by da-da-da-da-da. And you tell that story. Tell him how he, you know, maybe was on all kinds of medication due to his weight. I do know somebody like that. That's why I said that. That was on all kinds of medication. And he dropped his weight. Cut his weight in half within a year by doing this and this. And you've got that person, especially if you're talking to somebody about weight loss who's sitting there going, dang, you know, I'm 285 pounds. I'm only 5'5". You know, my health is bad. They're going to be thinking, I want some of that. I want what that guy has. Chances are they're going to click the link, and again, in this email, you are giving them a link. And they're going to buy your products. In your last email is the urgency and the call to action. It's usually the last email in your sequence, whether your sequence, like I just said, I just did 5, but your sequence could be, your hidden benefits may be through 3 emails. You know, depends on you, how many emails you want in your email campaign. But this is your urgency, and your call to action is your last email. In this sequence, it's probably not, and it should not be the last email that you send to people. It's just the end of introducing who you are. And it takes some time. You don't want to do that in all one email. The goal in this email is to give the reader one last push to take the action right now. And you know, throughout the week, I hope you guys, if you're using whatever you're using, whatever service or product you're using, that you do contact your list through blasts, broadcasts, whatever you want to call them. I do. I contact mine at least through broadcast. They get emails from me every other day, and then I broadcast something special out to them a couple times a week. So the way you accomplish the goal by giving your reader that last push to take action, you add an urgency into the equation and use a call to action. You know, up to now, you've kind of casually called them to action, but in this last email, you want to light a little bit of fire. One of my previous mentors used to say, ready, aim, fire. You know, and that's what you're doing. You want to light a fire under those readers. What legitimate reasons can you come up with that would make them need to take action right away? Okay, we do webinars, you know, all the time. We tell them the webinar starts every morning, 9:30. We give them a call to action. Sign up, get ready, join us. We only have 10 spots left. You're taking your video offline. You're taking your free product giveaway off. You got to give them a sense of urgency. Whatever it is the reason, it has to be real. Don't do anything fake. I've seen this too. Oh my gosh, I've seen this too. I signed up for a webinar 2 weeks ago. They never had it. Sat there, really, I kept coming back, but 30 minutes of my time, and there were other people on here going, are we doing a webinar or are we not doing a webinar? I've not signed up for webinars with them since. That took my time. And I could have been doing some other things. So that kind of irritated me, and that person lost credibility with me. But you just don't want to be fake. If you're going to do it, you need to do it. He said, the author goes on and says, just think of a reason why you might run out of whatever you're selling. You know, I've only got 2 of these left. I've only got 4 spots left on the webinar. You know, if it's a product that you're selling, you could create a special sale. In my previous business, I ran sales all the time to move out, discontinue things, and to bring in new. I gave my customers coupons. You can do that. You know, but the free stuff, people like free, and Earl talked about that on Monday too, to give away things. That helps build your list as well. So, you know, here's an example. You could say in your subject line, last call. You know, I've been all week, I've been offering a free download of such and such ebook. My offer is ending today. Today's the last day, and I get these in the list that I've opted into all the time. So, I mean, I hope you get the gist of what I'm saying. Your urgency and your call to action. This is where you want them to take action. Like I said, you wanted to all along, but you want them to take action. I hope you guys, that was really the 5 emails in the series that I had and how it works. You know, email number 1 pulls the reader to email number 2. Email number 2 pulls the reader to email number 3, and so on. You want the emails to be easy to read, and you want them in a sequence. Don't use long paragraphs because that makes it hard for the reader. So you may have 2 sentences and then white space. 2 sentences, white space. People get tired in reading those long paragraphs, like text messages. I get text messages that are a paragraph long. I'm thinking, my word, I don't have time, you know. Very convoluted. It's hard for me to read. I wear glasses. It's hard for me to see that. If they break them up into smaller text, that's easier for me to read. So that's just a little bit of how to, I guess, present your emails. Mm-hmm. But that's really what I had this morning. I hope you guys can relate to how these emails, how you need to think of them kind of in a soap opera sequence when you're introducing yourself to somebody. This is only in the introduction. You may do that in 3 emails. You may do it in 7. I don't know. That would be up to you. I think 3 to 5 is probably a good way. And build yourself, build your character. And treat it like a soap opera sequence and have fun with it. So that was it, Earl, Jackie, and everybody. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you got some great information from it. I found it very interesting when I did this part in the training.
Awesome, awesome, and it's so surprising that you brought this topic today because actually last night I was actually doing that same email sequence, guys. So basically what I got from all you just shared with us today is basically keep it in suspense, right? Keep your emails in suspense so the reader always wants to know what's coming next. So that's exactly what I did last night, guys. Like me, my email sequence is like my first email is like I'm gonna offer my subscribers 20 ebooks. And every 3 days they're gonna get a new ebook, and I'm gonna tell them what the next ebook gonna be at, and they're gonna always be on the lookout for that next email. So that keeps your subscribers engaged, and you're building that relationship. So that's basically what I just got from what your presentation is. Just keep the suspense, and that's exactly what I did. So you see, this is a small world, guys. We actually think alike. You know, entrepreneurs think alike. You know, because I never knew that you would have come up with this topic until you told me that, and you're gonna do this topic. And exactly what you just said. That's exactly what I did with my email sequence. So thanks a lot.
No, thank you. I found it interesting too. You know, in my traditional business, we have given a discount, and we've also done some things for veterans working with our supplier. And so I'm using the tools that I have to build a list there so that I can offer things and get our name out there even more than it is right around in our area. So yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. Jackie?
Yes, yes, and thank you so much. This is brilliant. It's so neat. You just kept me in suspense with the title of the training today. Soap opera sequence. I couldn't wait to hear what this was going to be about. You know, all about. And I've had so many aha moments. And I've been doing email marketing for over 2 years now, and I've never had someone laid out in this sequence, I would say. Back in the days in high school when I was growing up, I used to love soap operas. And I love the suspense. I love surprises. And it made so much sense to really kind of like pull people to you with a story and using yourself as a character. It's a powerful method, I should say. And we all know that email marketing is, if not it's one of the best, if not the most powerful form of marketing in this industry. And if there's anyone there who is not doing email marketing, they're far behind. They want to get involved. They want to get to you, because I will be getting back to you, and because I really need you to be able to really teach me, you know, how to lay this all out, you know, and maybe help boost my my emails and try to see how I can keep my list and keep them hungry and make them suffer in anticipation as to what is it that I have for the next day, just like those who watch soap operas. So I can't wait. It's really exciting stuff. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jackie. Thank you.
Awesome, guys. All right, guys. Well, the time now is 10 after 3. I know we've been on here for an hour, for 30 minutes, not an hour. I'm going to say hour. But you guys, I really appreciate you guys taking the time to be on the call, to get in this great information that Ann just shared. Like I said, I hope you guys took notes and put this stuff into use, guys. Don't just let it sit there and just forget it. Put it to use, put it to work for your business, and let it work for you. And you can always tweak stuff, guys. But remember, we're here to share advice to help you move forward, to better your marketing and to help you build your business. So take what we share with you and run with it, and share it with others, guys. Share with others also. The replay going to be on my YouTube channel, also on Miss Jackie and Miss Ann's channel also. You go ahead and find the replay there also, and really look at it. You know, sit down, take your time and observe the information, and put it to use, guys. So if anyone has anything else to add before we close this call this morning. Nope. Jackie Ann, you have anything else you want to add?
No, I just want to thank our viewers and our audience who keep coming every morning. We love you guys. Let's, you know, don't give up, don't quit. If you need help, reach out to us, and we'll be more than glad to help you. Thank you so much, Miss Ann.
Awesome. Thank you, Ann, for bringing the great information. And thank you, everyone, for coming on the call. And join us tomorrow again, guys, once more, 0930 for another Entrepreneurs Morning Vitamins. Tomorrow's Friday. We have our FAQ tomorrow, which we're going over the topics that we covered for the week. So once again, have a blessed day. Earl Cox, Jackie Ann Powers, and Miss Ann Williamson checking out.
Thank you.